if you own a rental property, if you are using contractors for your rental property, you really need to know what a lien is, because I have been seeing some funny business about liens. And in this video, I'm going to give you the 101 version of what a lien is. And then at the very end of the video, I'm going to play a clip from when Erika of Michigan Investment Title came to speak to our Real Estate Investors Association of Oakland, as in Oakland County, Michigan. She came to speak to us all about the different things that investors need to know about title work from the perspective of the title company. And this is my last video, and I think I made 5 videos from her talk from title company. So if you want to skip ahead to the parts that interest you, use the chapters here below and get to that part. Let me give you my 101 very elementary version of what even is a lien. So let's say you have a rental property and your property manager said, okay, your tenant moved out, we're doing a turnover, we're going to get the house ready for the next tenant, and it's going to cost $10,000. And they're chugging along and they're doing the work, and all of a sudden you're being a jerk and you're like, I'm not paying you that, I don't agree, or whatever, you're not going to pay it. The property manager can go put a lien on your house, meaning that let's say you go sell your house for $100,000 and you still owe them $10,000, they're going to get paid and you're only going to get $90,000. So that's what a lien is. We'll get into what the funny business is of how I've seen these liens not used correctly. I get so disappointed when I sell my Detroit turnkey houses and the owner gets scammed. So my husband and I, we buy houses in Detroit, we renovate them, we place a Section 8 tenant in them, and we sell them. And right now our going price for a 3-bedroom house with a Section 8 tenant is $84,000. And once the person buys the house, they go use a property manager, and then all this stuff happens, and I feel terribly, and it makes it like hard for me to sell houses. So what I did was I came up with an online course to teach people how to manage their houses themselves. If that is something that interests you, there is a link below and you can find out all about how to get your maximum by not using a property manager and using the skills taught in my course. Check out that link below. One of the first things I learned about liens doing some research for this video, anybody can go ahead and place a lien. It doesn't mean it's enforceable in court. I kind of feel like it's a bully move of property managers to get owners to pay them. But it could be that the owners are being jerks and they actually owe it and they won't pay it. But whatever, I think you should know the rights if you're a property manager about how to file a lien. You should be doing it the correct way. And if you're an owner and if you feel like your property manager might just be bullying you and you've got a case and you don't actually owe that money, you should know what these 7 rules are. So let's get into the 7 rules. I'm going to give you these 7 rules, but I'm saying I'm not an attorney. These are kicking off points to ask questions to your attorney because they might be different in different states. I just have to give my disclaimer there. So the first one, I do have to read some of this stuff. If it's a general contractor filing the lien, he has to give preliminary notice within 15 days of recording the lien, or if it's a laborer that's filing the lien, they have 20 days. And that notice, it's called a notice of furnishing. And I swear property managers are throwing liens on and not giving any notice. That's the kind of the funny business I think that might be happening. I don't know. Number 2, a general contractor and a laborer, they get 90 days to file it. So they can't go like a year later and go, oh yeah, you're going to leave me and go to some other property manager? Well, you owe me money. I'm going to put a lien on your house. They can't do that. They have to do it within 90 days of the work. Number 3, the lien is only good for a year. Now you're going to hear Erika talk later about liens that are 1 year, 5 year. This is why I'm saying you got to talk to your attorney. I think what she's saying is you can keep renewing the lien every year, but the lien is actually only good for a year. Number 4, on residential properties, there has to be a written contract with the property owner. Now, if I were using a property management company, I would believe that that written contract would probably be in your property management agreement. That's the contract between the owner and the property management company. And I'd be very curious, what does it say in there? Because there are property managers that are very upfront about this. And they say, hey, if I ever do anything over $10,000, I will be putting a lien on your house, just so you know, that's my practice. Okay, you agree to that, you're fine. Or they put it in there because they're using it for bad owners, or they're using it as a bully thing to get you to pay. I don't know. But I'd like to know if that's in my contract. Number 5, this one gets me. Did you know, in order to put a lien on someone's house, the person placing the lien has to be a licensed builder or a residential maintenance and alteration contractor. Or they can be a licensed plumber, electrician, or licensed mechanical sub. So according to this that I heard, and please check yourself if I'm wrong about this, comment below if you have evidence that I'm wrong about this, because I was kind of surprised. But apparently, if they are unlicensed, it will not stand. If they are unlicensed, they may even be guilty of a misdemeanor or a felony. So that one, quite interesting to me. Okay. Number 6, after receiving a lien, the owner may request a statement asking for the amount of labor or materials, the amount presently due, and the balance of work to be performed. Okay, so this is what I saw happen, a specific instance. There was an owner, she had a turnover, and the property manager said it took 7 dumpsters to clear out this house. That may be true, I don't know. But the owner of the house said, can you give me any evidence of that? Do you have any photos or anything? They did give her photos, and she asked my husband and I to look and see how many, like before photos, how many dumpsters do you think that would take? That's hard to say, right? But to us, it looked like 2 or 3 dumpsters, so it was really suspicious. So she said, okay, can I have some backup invoices? If you had to pay for 7 dumpsters, don't you have the receipt for those 7 dumpsters? The property management company, for whatever reason, never gave her those invoices. And so I don't know what the owner ended up, I think she paid something for that turnover, but I don't think she paid the full amount that they were asking for, which leads to number 7. The claimant has 10 days to reply, or he is liable for any damages, and the owner doesn't have to pay him. So she never got the answer, so she didn't technically have to pay. And I don't know that they actually put a lien on her house or not, but it would have been good to know before they put the lien on, like, do you have evidence of this? So it's important stuff to know. If you are liking this video, it is super helpful to me. If you like, subscribe, share, comment. If you think anything I said was interesting, please comment below if you think that was weird about the part about being licensed, because I could swear people do it unlicensed. If you have some more information I'm missing, please share it with all of us. And let's get into what Erika of my title company has to say.
So depending on the type of lien that they file, they can fall off. Some are 1 year, some are 5 years. They have 1 to 5 years that lien is good for. And then if you don't pay them, they can refile again within that time period. So they can keep it current by keep refiling until you sell your property and you're forced to pay them. But if they file once and then that time has lapsed, that 1 or 5 year period has lapsed, and they don't refile, then it falls off.
I was told that they not only had to lien the property, they then had to start a lawsuit against it.
So for title purposes, we just look to see if it is a valid lien and if it's expired. If it's still valid, then they still have time to sue you. If it's no longer valid, then and they haven't refiled, then it falls off. So if you're going to lien somebody's property, there has to be reason for that lien. So either you've done work to the property, you've given a loan on the property, you have your equipment on their property. There has to be something on their property of value for you to lien. So, and then you can file a claim of interest or a claim of lien on the property, and it can specify on there what it is for. You don't have to put the amount, but you can put what it's for. And some investors use this when they get a property under contract, that they are worried that their seller might be talking to other investors and might sign other purchase agreements. So they will file what they call just a claim of interest, and it just says on there that you have a valid purchase agreement that expires on such and such a day with your name, phone number, email. So if they do try to sell it to somebody else, you'll get contacted, and at least you'll know. So it works to your benefit, because at least you will find out. It will pull up on our title search and we'll contact you.
What about slander of title? What is that? Can you explain
Oh,
that?
sure. So if you put a claim of interest on somebody's property and it is frivolous, they call it slander. So if you deed the property to yourself, if you file invalid claims of interest, so you're just putting claims on there or your interest on there and it is frivolous, you can slander somebody's title. So you can actually get sued for that. So I wouldn't recommend doing that. And I don't know all the rules with property management, so I don't know if you can collect late fees and interest or legal fees or what else you can add to your fee after so much time has passed. But that is something that I've seen. We've called property management companies and they just provide us the invoice for $500 and we pay it off at closing. So it's a way for them to get paid.